it's Try with Rye here. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we are going to be making homemade pretzels. Now to get started, in a large bowl, you need 1.5 cup of warm water, 2 teaspoons of active dry yeast, 1 tablespoon of salt, and you need 1 tablespoon of sugar. Alright, so what you want to do is you want to grab your salt and you want to pour it onto the warm water. Then what you want to do is you want to grab your sugar and pour it onto the warm water as well. You then want to mix all those ingredients together. So once that's done, you need to grab your active dry yeast and just pour it onto the mixture itself. You want to rest the yeast for 10 minutes. If you watch your yeast during 10 minutes, your yeast should have some bubbles. It basically means that your yeast is nice and active, and once the 10 minutes is done, your yeast should look something like this. Now you need 2 tablespoons of oil. Then you need 4.5 cups of flour. I decided to use all-purpose flour. Now what you want to do is you want to pour the flour onto the yeast mixture. You then want to grab your oil and pour that onto the flour. Now what you want to do is you want to grab a spoon and you just want to mix all those ingredients together. You really want to make sure that everything is all mixed together, and if you do find the dough a little sticky, you could just add some flour just to make the process a little faster. And I decided to use my hands now that everything is all mixed. And what you want to do is you also want to knead the dough for 10 minutes. And once the 10 minutes is up, you want to grab a separate bowl, add a little bit of oil, and this oil really helps the dough for it not to stick onto the bowl. You then want to grab your dough and you want to place it onto the bowl where we put oil. Now you need to grab some saran wrap, and what you want to do is you just want to place that on top of the bowl and make sure there's no air coming out. And once that's done, you want to let the dough rise for 1.5 hours. Now once that's done, you want to grab your dough. It should look something like this. Once that's done, you want to grab your dough and you want to put it on a tray. And then what you want to do is you want to just add some flour, and we want to knead the dough again for around 2 to 5 minutes. Now what you want to do is you want to grab your dough and you just want to separate it into 2 halves. I just find it easier to work with 2 doughs instead of working with 1 big dough, but that's basically up to you. And right now what I'm doing is I'm just rolling the other dough up into a ball, and then we'll work with this dough right here. So what you want to do is you want to cut the dough in half again. And you just slowly want to continue cutting the dough into little halves as well. It just depends on how big you want the pretzels to be. Alright, so what you want to do is you just want to grab 1 piece of dough. I put it in some flour just so it's easier for me. And what you want to do right now is you just want to roll it all up. You really want to make sure that your dough gets nice and long. Alright, so in order to make the pretzel shape, you make a U shape with the dough. You want to twist it, and then you want to twist it again, and then what you want to do is you want to push it down. There you go, that is how you make a pretzel. So what you want to do is you want to place that onto a tray and continue doing the same process until all the dough is complete. So again, what you want to do is you want to roll the dough. You then want to put the dough into a U shape. And then what you want to do is you want to twist the two ends, and then twist the two ends again, and then put the two ends onto the bottom. And there it is. Alright, once that's done, what you want to do is you want to grab around 5 to 6 cups of hot water and 2/3 of baking soda. You want to wait until all the water is nice and boiled. And what you want to do is you want to grab your pretzel and leave it in there for around 30 seconds on each side. So once that's done, what you want to do is you just want to place the pretzel back onto your tray, and you want to do the same process over again until all the pretzels are complete. Now, the reason why we add the pretzels in baking soda is because this really adds a nice texture and it makes the pretzels all nice and puffy. Adding baking soda really helps the pretzels to be nice and soft. Alright, now that's all done, what you want to do is you just want to grab an egg and you just want to whisk that all up. Then what you want to do is you want to grab a brush and just slowly put that on top of the pretzels. This is what makes the pretzels look all nice and shiny. Also, it's optional to add some sugar or some salt on top of your pretzels to give it that nice taste. And what you want to do is you want to bake these pretzels for 450 Fahrenheit for 10 minutes or until it's golden brown. And that is how you make homemade pretzels. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this recipe. For more information, visit trywithry.ca. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me on Facebook and Instagram.